It is springtime here at Howling Winds Haven, and it is time to begin our spring cleanup and start setting up the breeding pen. Now, we won't quite finish the breeding pen in this video. I have a couple things more to do, but I will get that recorded, and I will add that as a little short tomorrow with the separating of our breeding ducks. So while my husband cleaned out the coop, the first big thing that I did was go ahead and get the pools cleaned out. I do usually empty them every year before winter, but between all of the snow and the rain and everything from winter into fall, they get pretty full by the time spring comes around again if I didn't move them into the garage. So with this pool, it doesn't have a drain on it, so I do have to bail it out for a while before it can just be flipped over and dumped out. After all the pools got bailed out and cleaned, I'm in the back corner if you can't see. I went ahead and got this recovered. If you've been here in prior years, I had this covered with snow fencing, but then we found deer netting, and we've been covering with that. At this point, the coop was cleaned out, so yay, all clean. And then we started making our new nesting boxes. So this year, our nesting boxes were like 2-3 years old. So it was time to make new ones. We got the pools refilled, and I also patched up this pool in particular. It's got quite a few holes in it. And then I used some Flex Seal. That pool's gonna go into the dog run so they can use it and play in it and have water. And then I cleaned out the whole bedding or the breeding area, and all of that will go. And of course I missed a hole, so it's still coming out, the water. So that was cool. So I had to fix that with Flex Seal. But the ducks were very happy to have their pools back. Surprisingly, McKenna was the first one in. I didn't expect her to be. It's usually the Cayugas that are the first in the pool, but the Muscovies beat them out this time.
Yeah, good girl.
So I had to use Flex Seal on the other pool when I found that second hole. So it's not filled yet. It's still curing. We'll fill it tomorrow and get the ducks moved.
I'm surprised usually.
So back to the nesting boxes. The old nesting boxes are 2 years old. Yes, they're kind of gross, and I wanted to make some changes because they didn't function quite as well. So now they'll look like this, and they'll have barriers in between to separate out. So this is going to be 4 nesting boxes all together. So where I'm pointing is roughly where the barriers will be, and it'll make 4 nesting boxes. And they will have the snow fencing in between so they can sit together, because my ducks like to nest together, which is fine, but it does make it tough to know whose egg is whose. At this point, this was when we were supposed to get storms, and the sky was looking rough. So I took a quick break and went to get us some dinner with the Nora in the back, of course. So once the boxes were made, I covered the top and the inside where they'll be laying, and then the bottom of it with plastic, so to help keep moisture off, but also it'll make it easier to clean, so that once they have been in there a while and those get really grody, I can just pull the plastic up and then put new plastic down. It'll make it much easier to clean than the other ones were that didn't have that. So at this point we were stapling down the snow fencing that we used to make their barriers. Like I said, my ducks really like to nest together, and they will just smush as many of them into one nest as possible. So I'm hoping that this will give them the effect of nesting together while being each in their own individual box sections. The other thing about these that I really love is that I added a lid. So I have to like kneel down and reach in because the other ones are 2x2s, and these are 16" by 1 foot instead. And so now I have a lid that I can just lift up and reach right in and grab them without having to kneel down on the ground to pick up their eggs. So we stapled those to the boards at the top that'll help support the lid, and then down at the bottom so that they can sit with each other. And so I think total we have 12 of these little nesting box sections in 3 big boxes. So there's 4 in each big box, and we have 3 of the big boxes. So one of them will go in the breeding pen, which is where it's important that they be separated so that I know whose eggs I'm collecting, and then the rest will go inside the coop. There we are. We moved the bedding out of the way and put them in. And my ducks really like to nest in the corners. So I picked the 2 favorite corners that they have where I most frequently see eggs. And then we filled them up with bedding so that the ducks will be nice and comfortable. And there's the lid part. Isn't that so fun? It might not actually be that fun. That might just be me. But it's fun for me. So there I added more bedding onto the top of the coop or on the nesting boxes because they do really love to sit on top of them. And there we go. We have new nesting boxes. So that is the start of our prep. I will show you the rest of it tomorrow when we separate out the ducks. But that's it for now. So that is what we did for our spring coop and coop prep and cleaning.
Yeah, good
See you guys Friday. We'll see you tomorrow for the short about how we did with the rest of the group. And then Friday we'll be doing part 2 of our The Psychology of Animal Training series where we talk about classical conditioning. So we'll see you guys then.